1001, 1002.
I don't know what you have in your pocket. Take your hand out.
I got my money in my pocket.
Take your hand out of your pocket, sir.
Get your hand off your gun.
Turn around.
Don't step on my back.
Turn around. Turn around.
What are you doing?
Turn around.
What are you doing?
Turn around.
Police officers are meant to uphold the law and protect the community, but what happens when corrupt cops abuse their power? In this video, we'll uncover some of the most shocking cases of officers who thought they could get away with anything until their actions caught up with them. Stay tuned to see how these corrupt cops were finally put in their place and faced the justice they deserved.
Yes, sir, it's Todd. Excuse me. My dad's the same way.
Okay. Anything you take prescription medications for?
Just depression, anxiety,
Okay.
PTSD, stuff
Does that
like
affect your ability to walk, operate a vehicle, to go about your normal life?
No.
Okay.
I didn't actually have any today, so.
Some police officers from the Niagara County Department turned a routine traffic stop into an opportunity for amusement, investigating something they weren't even certain had occurred. What started as a trivial game quickly took a darker turn. With each passing minute, their actions escalated, hinting that this was just the beginning of something far more troubling.
For some reason the wheel went that way and...
Okay, what are you doing here?
No, my son's over there.
Your son is?
Yeah, I was seeing my son and we were driving.
Okay. Where are the ones that you struck?
One right here that
They're
yeah,
around?
Yeah.
How'd you get over there?
No, well, I came from this way, and for some reason, I don't know why, it's being stupid, I guess, and the wheel went over that way, and I went under that one stone right there. We actually just got out of there, but...
The entire scene unfolded near a cemetery where a few tombstones had reportedly been knocked over, prompting a police call. But instead of focusing on their job, the officers decided to single out someone who looked like they might push back, an easy target to boost their egos. What started as a call for justice quickly became a display of intimidation.
This one and this one?
Yeah.
And that's it?
Yep.
Who called?
I don't
Probably
know.
someone that was just in here.
Who's that person? You know them?
No,
No, it was an elderly couple. They were passing by.
so I'm assuming they're the ones who probably did. Can lift that up?
We can. There's three of us. We gotta put these back on.
Well, definitely.
And if we have to use this to balance, we push it up.
Well, yeah, to pick it up at least,
We'll
and
set it on there and then we'll slide it like that.
Yeah.
Go on. No, they just basically fall off the baseboards.
National Grid's on location. I'll be blocking the road for 10-4.
Were you driving this when you hit it?
yeah.
The officers approached a man who appeared slightly drunk, unaware he was a disabled man. Choosing to single him out for identification and questioning, they acted on poor judgment and assumptions. What they didn't realize was that their choice would backfire spectacularly. Their decision to target him would soon lead to consequences they couldn't have anticipated.
Alright, why don't you come over with me? Not you. Do you have your license on you?
I do.
Where's your son?
My son's, he's over actually down there.
Okay. Who else is in the car with you?
It was just me.
This is your license?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay. How much have you had to drink today?
None.
Nothing.
None.
You just gave me a debit card as your license.
I wasn't even thinking. I had nothing. You can give me alcohol test, anything like
Check the
that.
welfare.
I think we're gonna have to do that.
Okay.
Based on the fact that you crashed into headstones in a
Okay. That's
cemetery.
Believe he seemed to be highly intoxicated. Couldn't understand.
Who else were you driving with?
fine. It was just me.
One, I'm still 10-4. It was just you in the car?
Yeah.
Who? So those are their kids?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
they were all
that's
riding
my
that?
brother's kids.
This is your brother?
My brother's right there. Yeah.
Okay. Just hang out right here for a minute.
Okay.
I'll be right back. You don't have any weapons on you?
No.
Let's see. Cigarettes?
Cigarettes, yeah.
Many might argue the cops were just doing their job. After all, this man, later identified as Adam, did appear drunk. To some extent, that seems fair. But don't be misled by appearances. The real villains in this story are the officers themselves, and their actions will soon make that undeniably clear.
Alright, who are you?
Huh?
Who are you?
Adam.
You're Adam.
Adam Sutter, yeah.
And this car belongs to who?
My brother.
And whose car is
I
that?
believe you may be
That's
looking for a
mine.
foreign
I was driving
agent.
his truck because I just wanted to test drive. I haven't drove this one.
You wanted to test drive it.
Yeah.
28.
And nobody else is in this vehicle. Give me another minute, we'll get some stuff in motion here
Okay.
for you. Give me another minute, we'll get some stuff in motion here for you.
Isn't it suspicious that the officers all turned off their body cameras mid-investigation as if following an unspoken rule? Not just one of them, but all of them. It's a blatant example of how officers often shield each other's misconduct. But their strange behavior didn't end there. What they discovered next should have shifted the entire course of events that day, but unfortunately didn't.
Save it for a rainy day.
Yeah.
Alright, over here. Okay, before we get anything started, your highest level of education,
10.
10th grade?
Yep.
Okay. You're familiar, do you primarily speak in English?
I do.
And you understand what I'm saying to you right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have any medical disabilities, impairments?
Disabled, yeah.
Disabled for what?
PTSD, depression.
From what?
anxiety.
Military?
No, for my son. He was murdered.
How long ago was that?
That was 10 years ago.
And how old was he then? He was a year old? Okay. Alright, anything that affects your ability to stand normally?
My balance is. I mean, any
I'm not looking
doctor-
for excuses, I'm looking for...
No, it's not an excuse.
I had knee surgery and I can't walk
It's
right.
not. It's not an excuse. Believe me, my dad's the same way.
Okay. Anything you take prescription medications for?
I just depression, anxiety,
Okay.
PTSD, and stuff.
Does that affect your ability to walk, operate a vehicle, to go
No.
about your normal life?
No.
Okay.
I didn't actually have any today, so.
Adam explained to the officers that he was disabled, still struggling with the trauma of losing his son who was just 1 year old. He even mentioned a knee operation that made walking difficult, but none of this mattered to the police. They were fixated on proving he was drunk, ignoring his pain and humanity entirely. It was clear they had a plan. It wouldn't stop until they carried it out.
Okay, so you haven't taken any drugs today?
No.
You haven't consumed any alcohol?
Nope.
Okay. Alright, so that being said, we'll run you through some tests,
Okay.
and we'll figure out what's going on here. What we have you do right now is just stand with your feet together, and your arms down at your side. You're going to remain in this position while I instruct the first test. Okay? What I want you to do is look at the tip of the pen. Are you able to see that okay?
Yep.
I'm going to move that in various directions, and you're just going to follow it with your eyes. Your eyes are open. Okay? Okay, when I move it, do not move your head. Do you understand? Okay. Follow the pen. Watch my officer.
No, I'm tired. My balance is so off. I'm like,
Okay. Up. Okay. Just close your eyes and tip your head back. Alright. You're good. Just open them up. Alright. Next thing I have you do, we're going to go this way. It seems flat. Alright, what I'm going to have you do is take your left foot and you're going to plant it on an imaginary line.
The officers' words might have sounded reasonable, but their actions told a different story entirely. Forcing a disabled man recovering from knee surgery to perform a field sobriety test defies basic decency. Whoever taught these officers this was acceptable should be fired along with the officers themselves. But their ignorance didn't stop there. What they did next would cross every imaginable line of reason and fairness.
Okay, and you're going to put your right foot in front of that. Just like this. You have your arms down at your side.
I'm telling you, I have no balance.
Do the best you can. Alright, when you assume this position, I want you to stay in this position until I tell you to begin the test. You there?
I'm trying. I mean, you can talk to every single doctor I have that tell you.
I don't have time to be making phone calls to doctors.
I'm just saying.
I'm pretty sure they're probably on their yachts or enjoying the holiday. All right? Come on, we gotta get there.
I have no balance.
Okay. Do the best you can.
I'm trying. Thank you. Can I have a breathalyzer set because I cannot do these tests? I'm just wasting you guys' time.
Let him do the test.
Video this.
It's all on video, buddy.
Well, it's going to be on our video.
Okay, great. And you guys can get arrested for obstruction. Alright. So, when I tell you to do so, you're going to take 9 steps in a heel-to-toe manner while counting out loud. Okay?
Yep.
You got to assume this position. You there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even when Adam requested a breathalyzer test, the most reliable way to prove he hadn't consumed alcohol, the officers ignored it. It didn't suit their narrative, so they dismissed the obvious. Instead of acting professionally or humanely, they forced Adam to perform physical exercises despite knowing his condition. Their actions weren't about justice, they were about control.
You're going to take 9 steps in a heel-to-toe manner while counting out loud and looking down at your toes. Alright? It's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, all the way until you get to 9. When you get to the 9th step, you're going to keep your lead foot planted. Take a series of small steps, going back the other way on the imaginary line of your feet. Alright?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, all the way to 9. While you're doing the test, make sure you look down at your toes, count out loud, don't stop moving until you're finished with the test. Keep your arms down at your side.
Okay.
Do you understand all that?
Yep.
You can begin when you're ready.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The officers knew Adam wouldn't perform the exercises well due to his knee issues and anxiety, but that is exactly what they were counting on. Each time Adam tried to explain his struggles, they dismissed his words as mere excuses. But even that wasn't enough for them. Determined to push him further, they continued to escalate the situation, turning Adam's already difficult day into an unbearable ordeal.
When I tell you to do so, you're going to lift one leg, whichever one you prefer, approximately 6 inches off of the ground. You're going to have your foot parallel to the ground, and you're going to look down at your raised foot. You're going to stare at your toe and count out loud. 1001, 1002. You can go when you're ready.
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007.
Some might still expect Adam was drunk, but consider this, he performed all the exercises that didn't involve his legs flawlessly. If that's not proof of his sobriety, what is? Yet the officers weren't satisfied. Adam's success didn't fit their narrative, and despite his repeated insistence he wasn't drunk, they quickly scrambled to find another way to pin something on him.
2008, 2009.
Alright, you can stop.
I have no balance.
Do you understand that?
Yep.
Okay. Whichever hand you prefer, go ahead.
1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2.
And you know the English alphabet?
Yes, I do.
Can you just recite that from A to Z without singing?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z.
Alright. EBT? EBT? Anybody?
The cops realized they were in a tough spot if they couldn't prove Adam was drunk, so they called their lieutenant to bring in the breathalyzer. But Adam remained calm, unfazed by their attempts. Confident in his innocence, he even tried to communicate normally with the officers. He knew the breathalyzer would soon reveal the truth, and that their efforts to frame him would crumble before their eyes.
Alright. So the lieutenant's coming.
Okay.
He's got the little machine we're gonna blow into to see where we're at, okay? You tell me you didn't drink.
Nope.
Prove me wrong and we'll go from
I
there.
don't believe me. I mean, I hardly even drink on New Year's.
Alright.
What's the purpose of him recording this? I'm just curious.
We live in that. So we do.
I mean, you can do it. I was just
No,
curious
no,
if there's some
no.
sort of reason for it.
There's a lot of bad customers.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's the only reason.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I mean, so I was curious.
Gonna be on the Reservoir Park.
Did you just damage the one or did you damage two of them?
We went over. I believe we didn't really damage any. We just knocked them down.
Yeah, what damage did you have to the vehicle?
I don't think there was really any damage that I seen.
It didn't take long for the lieutenant to arrive with the breathalyzer, and the moment of truth was finally at hand. The officers, confident and eager, believed they had finally had their excuse to arrest Adam. Right or wrong didn't matter to them. But as the test unfolded, their confidence began to waver. It wouldn't be long before their smug smiles vanished, replaced by the sting of undeniable truth.
Maybe blowing this box, all right?
Okay. Yep.
I was curious.
Oh, you didn't have to.
What do you not go?
2 headstones. Conrad and Worth. I don't see any damage on them. Just looks like there might be tire marks.
When the breathalyzer read 0, the cops were shocked. They hadn't expected this outcome and now found themselves cornered. But instead of admitting their mistake, they resorted to muting their body cameras, likely to conspire on their next move. Blaming Adam for something was now their only option, when what they agreed upon next would leave you shocked at just how far they're willing to go.
Alright, you drove the white truck here, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. To help maybe prove your case and make this a little bit easier on me, there's nothing concerning in there?
No.
Okay, would you have an issue with me just doing a quick check, make sure?
No, I have nothing. It's my truck, so
Okay,
bad.
you got no issue?
No.
Alright. Alright. Are you licensed? You have a permit. Okay, that doesn't help.
Can you believe they decided to search Adam's car even though he had done nothing wrong, wasn't drunk, and they had no warrant? It's a blatant violation of his rights, but the officers were desperate to find something that could justify arresting him. The question now is, will they actually find anything? Will this illegal search backfire, though, exposing their misconduct even further?
If you want to get picked up, that's fine. I got no reason to hold you here. I'm dealing with him and him only. Well, if you want to call somebody else for a ride because we're wasting your time, then that's fine. I'm not holding you.
The officer searching Adam's car quickly realized he wouldn't find anything incriminating, but that didn't stop him from pressing on. Growing nervous about the trouble they'd face, his behavior became visibly aggressive, revealing his frustration. Instead of accepting that Adam was innocent, this realization only made things worse. Desperation took over, and the officers seemed determined to escalate the situation rather than admit their mistake.
Is this your car? Get out of here. You're interfering with my job activity. Get out of here. Go, take a walk.
Despite Adam being sober, innocent, and having nothing illegal in his car, police decided to escalate things further. Unwilling to admit they were wrong, they dug themselves into an even deeper hole, caring little about the consequences. What came next was nothing short of cruel as they doubled down on their actions. It's a series of events that will leave you feeling nothing but pity for poor Adam.
Tell me why first.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Mike, they're
No, you
arresting
don't.
me!
Alright.
I don't. Tell me why!
Your hands behind your back.
Tell me why! Ow, you big guy! My Get down on the ground! Down on the ground! Put your hands behind your back! Put your hands behind your back! Put your hands behind your back! Not me! Stop resisting! I don't know what you at me.
No, I'm going on.
Guess what, lawsuit?
No, I'm going on.
Back up! Back up!
Why are you
Back up!
Why are you arresting?
Back up!
Why are you arresting?
Back up!
What's your reason?
Lawsuit!
Adam's friend tried to help, concerned about how the police were mistreating him. But his efforts were quickly shot down as the officers threatened him, warning he'd face the same fate as Adam if he didn't back off. The cops reveled in the illusion of power they believed they held, feeding off the fear they created. Yet even this wasn't enough to satisfy their thirst for control. They wanted more.
Lawsuit! You guys are all turning your badges in
Kevin!
the car.
Kevin, call John 889!
Call John.
Exactly!
He's gonna tell you in a minute. You need to
No,
comply
you're
with
gonna
all.
tell us now.
Now you guys
Get out of here, you're going to jail too.
No, he's not. He's
Get
not
back.
obstructing
Get back.
anything. Kevin, stay right there. They cannot touch
Alright,
you
sit
right
up.
there.
They won't go.
Ow!
Sit on your butt.
For being ignorant. You have no reason to wrestle him down well like that.
Are you kidding me?
You have no
Sit up.
reason to arrest
No, I'm
him.
not.
Stand up.
No!
Stand up.
Do your job and give me up!
You're gonna get tased if you don't stand up.
Tase me and then I'll give you... You really gonna tase me?
You will have lost all three.
Spit your feet.
What am I being arrested for? What did I do?
Have you ever encountered police officers who believe their uniform and badge gave them the right to do whatever they please? Share your story with us in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Meanwhile, let's return to the video and witness more of the unwarranted tyrannical behavior these officers displayed towards this man for absolutely no reason.
No, you did not tell him. You started to arrest him before.
What did I do? Please tell me.
I got it. And I will watch it. Illegal.
There is nothing in my vehicle. I didn't do anything wrong. No criminal.
This phone when I need it. So I can contact who I need to contact, so I need his phone. Would you like to hand it to me?
County Cares 253, 254.
You have to hand it before you leave.
253.
Call.
254.
Call this number right now.
Entry door alarm, max flashes, 2919
So
military.
you were gonna tell me because I didn't get up. Really?
Put your body in.
My body is against the car, dude.
Stop moving.
I'm not. My body's not even moving! What are you talking about?
What's John's number?
8789. Tell him I'm being unlawful arrested for no reason. Got thrown to the ground for no reason.
Okay.
I have to call his lawyer.
Alright, Adam.
22-7 county data.
It doesn't matter.
You're gonna arrest me in front
Stop! Stop moving! You're gonna arrest me in front of my mouth! Stop!
Arresting Adam wasn't even the worst part. It was doing this in front of his child that truly crossed the line. Despite his disability, Adam refused to back down, demanding an explanation for his arrest. And he wasn't the only one left confused, was he? The officers' attempts to justify their actions were as hollow and desperate as their behavior, leaving more questions than answers.
You! You think you're a big guy, huh?
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do! He is not harassing nobody. I'm fighting, really? Really?
Stop moving off the car!
I don't want to be on your car. You kidding me?
Too bad you don't have a choice. Spread your
Yeah,
feet.
okay. You guys think you're big guys, huh? With guns.
186 county.
That's why everyone hates you guys.
186.
Because this is what you guys
Reliance
do.
on the surface.
I'm gonna throw up, okay? Because you want me to throw up on the car? You just threw me to the ground!
Delta 273.
Move around.
10.
He's a fucking human.
253's out.
He is not obstructing.
Got it, 55.
Know your rules, know your laws. He is not
Yeah.
obstruction.
Bring your right foot up to me slowly.
18887 service. Copy 188.
I'm not trying to fight with you guys. But
You
come
already
on now,
did.
put me to the ground, really?
Adam was understandably frustrated, and who could blame him? He began yelling and cursing at the officers, which they quickly used as a flimsy excuse to arrest him, claiming it was inappropriate behavior in front of children. Suddenly, they cared about setting a good example. But just when you think these officers couldn't stoop any lower, they prove they always had another trick up their sleeves.
No right to wrestle him down to the ground like that at all. No reason.
Just
Put it on Facebook, put it on everything.
Left foot.
I'm going to speak to her.
Good.
10.
That's
You're gonna
wrong
go to
with
jail.
you
You cuss
now.
one more time.
You cannot put him in jail for cussing.
Disorderly conduct. There's kids right there. Cuss one more time and you're going too.
Alright, let's go.
187.
To the other side.
Why am I being
Any mileage, 77?
Probable cause for DWAI. Desecration of property.
DWAI, guys. You hear that? DWAI.
Sit in the car.
Lawsuit.
Drugs? What fucking drugs? You guys are fucking idiots. Straight up. All of you guys are gonna lose your badge.
Zone.
Straight up. You're done.
Zone 1.
You're done.
You could show one in custody, and if you could notify the DRE.
The last people who should preach about good behavior are these officers, yet ironically, they seem convinced they handled the situation appropriately. If you're wondering whether these cops eventually face consequences they deserved, stick with us a little bit longer. We'll reveal that soon. But before that, let's take a look at what else these officers had to show us. Spoiler alert, it's not anything good.
DSP Lockport.
He's mentally, you know he's mentally slow, he gets a check?
Carries their
Yeah, I'm telling you that now, so I just trying to tell you guys he has bad balance.
And he told you that before you guys even tried doing the balancing shit with him. He
It's
told
a
you that.
disability check.
So why are you guys disobeying your law?
Alright.
They're just using that as a cause to arrest him.
Of course.
That he's on something.
What, do you have car seats for the kids?
Absolutely.
Alright, this truck's going with us. You gotta drive that one as long as he lets you.
Why is this truck on? It's my truck.
Because that's when he was driving.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter, I just talked to my lieutenant.
That's illegal.
It's not.
It's my vehicle.
It's
Private.
irrelevant.
This is private property.
It's irrelevant. And this is
So I gotta pay to get
this
my
is
truck
openly
out
access
and
to the public.
stones.
You're gonna have to drive that car.
I can get all my kids in there. This is ridiculous. I'm just trying to do this to be an asshole.
That's not true.
Well, I
You
got.
guys are all being
I have 3 car seats in there. It's gonna take me 15 minutes to get them out.
Alright.
Get them back in there, and they're not gonna all fit in there because there's only 3 seats. So you're gonna I'm stranded here with my kids now because he
No.
was driving something, and I mean it's kind of ridiculous. I have 4 kids in here. They're not gonna fit in there legally.
Adam's brother was also at the scene, witnessing firsthand just how terrible these officers were. Harassing and arresting Adam wasn't enough for them. They turned their attention to his brother, his wife, even their small children. Yes, the same children they claimed to be so concerned about when justifying their actions. The hypocrisy was glaring, and their behavior only grew more disturbing by the minute.
Call for somebody to pick you guys up.
Calm down, Adam. Relax.
I have to take this truck.
Adam, relax. You got it.
Okay, can I get my truck back today?
It's on a 12-hour hold, so 12 hours from now. 12 hours from when they tow it.
This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. I'm calling the news. This is.
Don't want to do it.
Come on, you guys gotta get out. Now my kids are stranded in the cemetery over bullshit without any
One on
evidence.
data.
You guys got no evidence. Because they had probable cause that he might be on some kind of pills or drugs. Why are you searching my vehicle? I didn't authorize
Because that's
you to
what he
search
was
my
driving.
vehicle. He might have authorized you to search his vehicle, but I didn't authorize it.
Okay, it's too bad. You gotta get out of the car.
Well,
You have to
really?
get out of
My
the car.
kids are in here, bro.
So get the kids out.
And we're supposed to be fucking cemetery in the middle of nowhere? Really? This is how you do your job. Protect and serve?
You can't stop reaching in the car. Stop reaching.
I am looking for...
Stop reaching in the car.
Am I reaching
Get
in
out.
there now? You're fucking unbelievable. Oh, I got it.
And you are very cooperative.
I was trying to be cooperative. I get my kids over there so you can do your business.
What the officers didn't realize was that not everyone fears their power and authority, especially those who understand that the police have no control over citizens who haven't committed a crime. When they couldn't intimidate Adam's brother and his wife, the officers, desperate and frustrated, turned their attention back to Adam. It was clear they weren't seeking justice, but clinging to a fragile sense of control.
Did I harass you in any way? No, I did not. And now you're towing my truck and leaving my kids stranded in this cemetery.
I'm sorry you let him. I'm sorry you let him drive it.
I'm sorry I let him drive it. That's your thing. You got no breathalyzer. You got no proof. You go
Out of 3
what kind of
fucking
VT?
police vehicles, not
Sure,
one
but-
of you had a breathalyzer test. You had to wait for somebody else.
Military parking lot of Kmart. George William.
Adam, these are your Miranda warnings. Do you understand that you have the right to remain silent and refuse to answer any questions? Do you understand that anything you say, anything you do, say, can be and will be used against you in a court of law? Do you understand that as we discuss this matter, you have a right to stop answering my questions at any time that you desire?
253
Do
County.
you understand that you have a right to a lawyer before speaking to me, to remain silent until you can talk to a lawyer, and to have that lawyer present with you when you are being questioned?
It was heartbreaking to see how upset Adam was in the backseat of the police car, and who could blame him? Imagine already feeling like life couldn't get any worse, only for the police to show you it absolutely can. But karma has a way of catching up. These corrupt officers will soon be put in their place, and this is a day they'll remember for the rest of their lives.
Do you understand that if you do desire a lawyer, but you cannot afford to hire one, one will be provided to you before questioning without cost to you? Do you understand each of these rights that I've explained to you? Now that I've advised you of your rights, are you willing to answer my questions?
I'll answer anything. I don't know what questions you have.
We have to read the whole sheet verbatim. So I just need an acknowledgement for each of those that you're understanding what your warnings are. Okay. So this one's the DWI warning. These are based on the performance of the tests that we did.
But I told you, I have no balance. I did not drink at all. Give me a hair test. Anything. I was not drinking at all.
Okay. That's
I mean, anyone I come on, they all know my balance is bad.
us charging you or bringing you in to go see the drug recognition expert. All this isn't you being guilty in a court of law. Okay. This is, I have probable cause to arrest you based on what I observed during the test that you did.
So how do I get out of this? Because I'm not guilty. I
you
just
need-
have bad balance.
Okay? Well, it's your choice, okay? But
Adam was ultimately acquitted of all charges by the judge, a clear validation of his innocence. Later, he and his family filed lawsuits against the officers for illegal arrest and abuse of power. These officers certainly deserve to face justice and should never wear a badge again. But if you thought this was as bad as it gets, let's dive into the next case to see just how low some officers can go. Speaking of corrupt cops who got put in their place, meet Officer Young of the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. He approached a man later identified as Felton on August 23rd of 2023, fixating on the registration details of a docked vessel. Despite no apparent issue, Officer Young escalated the situation unnecessarily. His approach, fueled by more authority than reason, seemed to rattle Felton. But it was the Officer Young's overreach that would set the stage for an unfolding confrontation with far deeper implications.
Is it coming or going? Oh, you just launched? Okay. Yeah, I was doing some paperwork. Wasn't even paying attention. I just pulled out and was about to go around. Seeing you here, I didn't know if you were coming or going. So, you headed out to go fishing, or?
Nope, I ain't got no fishing rod.
Getting ready for gators? You got your registration? You got it on board? You don't have your registration paperwork on board? You got it in your truck? Okay.
It's legal,
Right, well you got to have that paper in the vessel with you.
Officer Young's decision to approach Felton seemed routine at first, but his persistence hinted at something deeper. Offended by Felton's lack of enthusiasm for the intrusion, Officer Young shifted his focus. This wasn't about law or protocol, it was about ego. At that moment, Felton became a pawn in Officer Young's attempt to assert dominance. What started as a display of power would soon spiral into something far more unsettling.
You got your driver's license?
I do have, but I don't understand this.
Understand what?
Why I got to show my identity and all that stuff when you can see the stickers is good.
You got to have the paper. By law, you got to have that piece of paper on the vessel with you. So because you don't have that, that's a violation. So that's why I'm asking for your ID.
Violation every time I come around one of you guys.
Okay, well that's not my fault.
That's what they always say.
Okay, well that's the Florida law, sir. So that's the reason why I'm asking for your driver's license.
I'll give you my fishing license.
Your driver's license. If you don't have it on you, I'll take your name and date of birth.
Felton wasn't pleased when Officer Young demanded his ID, and he had every right to be. The Constitution protects citizens' right to remain anonymous, but no laws are broken. Yet officers like Young often forget the rights they swore to uphold. It's ironic, even troubling, how easily such oaths are often disregarded. But in this case, Officer Young's disregard hinted at an even deeper flaw in his intent.
You gonna go run my name and date of birth? Really?
Yes, sir. You're in violation right now of Florida statute for not having that piece of paper on your vessel. Go ahead, step out of the vessel. Step out of the vessel. Take your hand out of your pocket. Take your hand out of your pocket, sir. I don't know what you have in your pocket. Take your hand out.
My money in my pocket.
Take your hand out of your pocket, sir.
Get your hand off your gun.
Take your hand out of your pocket. I do not know where you're. I do not know what you got in your pocket.
Officer Young took offense when Felton didn't comply with his every order, twisting the situation to claim resistance. Felton was simply defending his civil rights, but Officer Young saw it differently. The law and fairness no longer mattered. It was about restoring his shaken authority. It was clear Officer Young would stop at nothing to reassert control, setting the stage for a confrontation driven more by ego than by justice.
Take your hand out of your pocket, sir.
Get your hand off your gun.
Take your hand out of your pocket.
Get your hand off your gun.
Keep your hands out of your pocket.
Get your hand off your gun.
Turn around.
Don't step on my butt.
Turn around. Turn around.
What are you doing?
Turn around.
What are you doing?
Turn around.
What are you
You're
doing?
being detained right now.
For what?
You're being detained.
For what?
For interference with FWC officer.
I'm not interfering with you.
Turn around. You're
I'm not interfering with
yes,
you.
you are.
No, I'm
Turn
not.
around. Turn around.
I've got a charter. I was giving you my license. I was
turn
reaching in my
around.
pocket.
Turn around. You're being detained
I was
right now.
reaching in my pocket to
you're
give
being
you my
detained right
driver's
now.
license.
You're being detained right now.
I was
For
giving.
interference with FWC
I'm
officer.
not interfering with you.
Yes, you are. If you keep going, I'm going to arrest you for resisting without
I'm
violence.
not resisting.
Put your hands behind your back right
Sir,
now.
please.
Put your hands behind your back.
Sir, please.
Can you believe Officer Young actually arrested Felton simply for standing up for his civil rights? It's easy to forget that Officer Young initiated this encounter without cause, and that was the real issue. If Felton could be arrested for this, what does that say about the rest of us? Moments like these make it clear when authority goes unchecked, no one's rights are truly safe.
I was reaching in my pocket to give you my driver's license, sir. I got them right here. Here, they right here.
Give me your other hand. $44.19, Tallahassee. $10.65 at 10.50 at 10-foot hole. Show one white male temporarily detained. Stand up. Stand by for that FL number.
Ironically, Officer Young insisted he was just doing his job, yet threatening civil rights and mistreating people out of boredom isn't part of the job description, or at least it shouldn't be. Soon enough, he'll realize he crossed the line, but by then it'll be far too late. Do you think Officer Young will apologize, or will his ego keep him from admitting he was wrong?
I didn't cause you a hard time at all. All I was doing was my job. You did too. Have a seat. Have a seat. Do you have that registration on board? Yes or no?
I told you I got my
Where's your driver's license at?
my pocket.
Which one? You got anything in there that's gonna stab me or poke me?
Nope.
You mind if I go in there and get your driver's license?
Well,
Now you're
I mean,
cooperating with me. Why are you cooperating with me now? After I done put you in handcuffs. I didn't come up and disrespect you. I wasn't rude to you or nothing like that. Yes, you were, sir.
Those who predicted Officer Young would escalate the situation were spot on. Rather than apologizing and walking away, he treated his mistake as a new mission. From that moment, his focus shifted entirely to framing Felton as the villain and himself as the hero. It wasn't about justice anymore. It was about justifying his actions, no matter how hard he had to stretch the truth to do it.
you know what?
Yes,
I just
you were.
don't
You were
understand.
you were
I asked
interfering with my duties.
I wasn't interfering with your duties. I was just asking you why am I?
And I
why
told
am
you
having
why,
to go
because
through
you were
this?
in violation. You're in violation. I'm placing you under arrest.
No, I mean,
stand up.
they're in I told you they're in my pocket. Please,
Go
don't
ahead.
do this, please. I'm asking you, please. I got a charter. It's the first time I've had two this month. This August. I got the river cruise, and I got my people supposed to be here in 10 minutes.
Step up there. 10-4. Step up there. Step over.
As if his actions weren't already outrageous, Officer Young took things even further. Following the illegal detention came an illegal search. Without warrant or any legal basis, Officer Young decided to search Felton, seemingly desperate to find something that could justify his behavior. His actions revealed a troubling truth one more time. This was no longer about the law, but about salvaging his authority at any cost.
You don't have to pull me, sir. I'm walking that way.
Got anything in your pockets that I need to know about?
No.
Any knives, weapons, or anything like that?
No.
What I'm doing is conducting a pat down. That's it. Checking for weapons. This is keys to your truck. What's that? They do.
Yeah, I'm the captain. I'm your captain. But unless he turns me loose, I'm gonna be able to take you. Can you handcuff me in the front?
I'm not handcuffing you in the front, sir, by the way that you are acting, and you wouldn't take your hand out of your pocket.
Officer Young seized every chance to label Felton as aggressive, a poorly staged performance designed for his body camera. Yet his act fell apart when Felton, as a 60-year-old man, simply asked to be cuffed in the front because the restraints were causing him pain. Instead of showing basic decency, Officer Young's reaction revealed his true intent: control, not justice.
I'm not. You were giving me a hard. You were giving me a hard time. I'm not going to be cooperative with you. Okay, this is what it is.
Giving me a hard time, dude. You still are.
You can go over there and park in the shade, and I'll get with you in a second. Mr. Felton, Mr. Felton. Is that okay if I call you Mr. Felton?
That's fine.
All right, Mr. Felton. At this moment, I'm Officer Young with Florida Fish and Wildlife. The reason why I come up there to you is I seen your boat in the water. I just started a normal conversation. I asked you for your proof of registration. You didn't have it, okay? And when I asked for your ID, you resisted to give me your ID, okay? So I am placing you under arrest right now for interference with an FWC officer and resisting without violence. Do you understand?
Officer Young wasn't just a bad cop, he was a bad person. His words were anything but fitting for someone called a public servant, as there was nothing public or servant-like in his actions. It was clear he saw himself as above the law, and his behavior reflected it. Instead of de-escalating, he made it his mission to ensure Felton's day got much, much worse.
I don't understand why.
Well, that's absolutely fine if you don't.
understand
But
why
I explained
you're
that
doing this, man.
because
You got these handcuffs so tight on me they're cutting into my wrist, dude, and I'm 60 years old.
lean forward. They're not tight.
They are tight, sir.
Well, I can put a finger in between them. So listen to me, okay? Like I said, I place you under arrest for interference with an FWC officer and resisting without violence, okay?
Man.
Now, do you have a family member that's local that can come get your truck and your boat? Huh?
No, I don't.
Who is this guy?
I'm almost 76 years old, dude.
Who's this guy?
You're hurting me, dude.
Who's this
look
guy?
How he's got his handcuffs on me, man.
All right, put your knee in there.
Please.
Put your knee in.
Please,
Put your
I'm
knee in.
asking you, please.
You're going to move over there. I don't want you behind me. Move over there.
Officer Young's anger flared up when a friend of Felton's approached to ask what was happening. True to form, Officer Young escalated the situation once more, threatening someone else entirely uninvolved. But he didn't stop there, deciding to call for backup. He turned a simple encounter into a spectacle. Was backup needed? Absolutely not. It was just another show of force from an officer who was more interested in control than resolving the situation.
I don't want you behind me. I don't know who you are. Move over there behind me.
Please loosen these up, would you please?
Put your knee in there, and I'll get with you in just a second.
Man, I'm begging you.
4419 Tallahassee. Show one white male, 1015. Can you go ahead and have the SO or the Apalachicola Police Department make his way down here with me? Not emergency or anything like that. I just need assistance. He's a grown adult. I don't have to talk to you. I don't have to tell you anything, okay? All right? I don't have to tell you anything. You can find out from him later, all right? So I appreciate it. Yep, you too. You're not a concern here. If you want to ask another question, I can deal with you that way. Is that what you want to do?
Officer Young had a completely skewed perception of the situation, claiming some vague incident justified detaining Felton, despite Felton's calm demeanor. It makes you wonder, do officers like Young truly believe their own fabricated narratives, or is it just easier to live the lie? If you thought the story ended with Felton's arrest, think again. Officer Young wasn't done yet. There was still more to come, and none of it looked good.
Now that you're starting to cooperate with me a little bit, yes. But because of the incident on the boat, I got another officer coming here before I pull you outside of my truck. Once I can get another officer here and get outside the truck, I will adjust that. As long as you promise me that you're not going to give me a hard time, I might consider readjusting those for you up to the front. Do you understand?
I do.
You going to give me a hard time? No? Okay. As long as you don't give me a hard time, because you are being cooperative with me now, all right, and you're being a little bit more polite than you were at the initial contact, I will consider that, but I want to wait till the other officer gets here, okay? All right?
I appreciate it if you wouldn't write me a ticket and let me take my phone.
Well, that's not going to happen.
I need that money for that.
I'm not taking this money from you. It's going to go in your personal.
I need the money for.
Well, Mr. Felton, you should have thought about that initial first contact, because I didn't come at you in any hostile way. All I was doing was my job, was asking questions. You did. You was resisting. You failed to produce the paper that I asked you for.
I didn't. I told you.
And you're right. You didn't. And when I asked you for your driver's license, you refused to do that.
I cooperated when I told you I didn't have it.
No, you didn't cooperate when I told you to pull your hand out of your pocket, neither.
I was reaching in my pocket because that's what's in my pocket. You seen what's in my pocket. After you searched me,
All
you
right,
seen what's
I'm going to count this, okay?
Officer Young began counting Felton's money, an act completely unrelated to the situation. He noticed Felton's concern and did it deliberately, relishing in the discomfort it caused. But that wasn't enough, and Officer Young took things further by approaching one of Felton's customers, clearly intending to tarnish his reputation. It's a reminder that some officers will go to any lengths to send a message. Questioning their authority comes at a price.
That'd be $272. Does that sound about right? Because I'm going to count it again.
That's probably right. Right. But please don't.
No, you're under arrest. Yeah, I'm taking you to jail.
Man, I ain't done
Yeah,
nothing to
you
go to
did.
jail.
I just told you what it was.
But
Interference
I ain't
with
done
an
nothing to cause you
FWC
to
officer.
put me in jail.
Interference with an FWC officer, which is Florida statute, and resisting without violence. Yes, sir, you sure did. Give me a second. Once the other officer gets here, I'll readjust those for you, okay?
Yes, we got you in a bad situation.
No, you didn't get me in a bad situation, sir. I'm Officer Paul Young with Florida Fish and Wildlife, a state law enforcement officer. My mission is to conduct research in Florida. You're not? Okay, you're from Florida, so you're familiar with us, okay? All right, I didn't know if you were from out of state. So what happened was I was doing my job, and your guide, if this is going to be your guide, I am taking him to jail. And the only reason why I'm coming to tell you is because you identified yourself as one of his customers. I do apologize that this is an inconvenience for you.
It's okay.
But I just want you to. That's fine. That has nothing to do with me. I'm just you identified yourself as one of his customers today, and I didn't want you sitting there waiting, wondering what's going on. But I do apologize. But
It wasn't long before the backup officer arrived, summoned earlier by Officer Young. True to form, Officer Young ensured the arriving officer only heard his version of the story, a narrative crafted to paint himself as justified and Felton as the problem. It was a calculated move, and for now it seemed to be working. The truth was buried under Officer Young's manipulation, setting the stage for further injustice.
hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, so I don't know if you're familiar with Felton Gay. He's a local. Felton Gay.
Is it a guy?
Yeah.
Is it Rudy Gay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you familiar with him?
Yes, sir.
So you're familiar with all the everything else.
Going on with him?
Well, so what I done was, and the reason why I called you down here is because I had to go hands-on with him in the boat.
Today?
Yeah, just a few minutes ago. So he is under arrest for interference with an FWC officer and resisting without violence.
Okay.
Okay.
Is he supposed to bring his boat in?
No, I wanted you to come here because he says the handcuffs are tight. I checked them. I could fit a finger in here. In between the handcuffs, I'm gonna pull him out to readjust the handcuffs. I just wanted another officer present with me.
Let me put my camera up.
Yeah, you're good. And just for your record, I'm recording as well. Turn around, face my toolbox.
The officers who arrived chose to adjust Felton's handcuffs to ease his discomfort, which was a rare moment of consideration. But Officer Young couldn't let things proceed smoothly. He repeatedly warned Felton not to be aggressive, despite there being no sign of aggression. It was a deliberate attempt to plant false impressions in the backup officers' minds, twisting the narrative further in his favor.
Turn around, face my toolbox.
Well, he's gonna put you in the front.
I'm hurt.
Just don't give us no trouble, man.
Man, I ain't.
He's
I
gonna
can't
put
feel
him in
my
the front.
fingers.
Yeah, he gonna do it for you, Reese.
Does that look like?
No, but it's gotta be better than it was. You know it?
It is. It is. But the thing about it is,
I got you. Well,
this is the thing about it
I know
is.
it. But that scuffling, you know what I mean?
Scuffling.
Whatever y'all had, I don't know what
There wasn't no
happened.
scuffling.
Well, that's the way you were sitting in the back seat. So
I
Did you
got
loosen this up a little bit? I can't get out of it anyway.
it's
I'm not
I
giving
can.
no trouble. I ain't giving no trouble. I ain't giving no trouble. I ain't even raised my voice. I don't even know why he's taking me, man.
All right,
Oh, he has. See, this one
Mr.
goes
Felton.
on my wrist, dude. I mean, it's too
Well,
tight
it's
right
not.
now.
It's not meant to be super comfortable. Okay, it's meant to restrain you, and I don't have to put them in front. Okay, I'm doing you an adjustment. That was
know.
from you sitting down on it. But
You put me in here, dude. You tightened
yes, sir.
it up on it.
Yeah, I didn't have it tight. I could put a finger in there. All right. Left foot up, right foot up, whatever you want. Knee in. All right.
Even after Felton was placed in the police car for the second time, Officer Young wasn't satisfied. It wasn't enough to let things end there. Determined to escalate the situation further, he called the police again, spinning the story to paint Felton as the villain, falsely labeling him as aggressive. It was clear Officer Young wasn't seeking resolution. He was intent on making Felton's day as difficult as possible.
Hey, he's being hard about his boat, saying that he ain't got nobody here. He's got a slip, 72 or something like that, but he doesn't want me to drive it. He wants me to uncuff him and have him tied up. I told him I'm not doing that. I loosened his cuffs up and moved him around front while I had 3 PD here and 1 sheriff to come and assist me when I pulled him out of the truck, because I wasn't going to pull him out of the truck when he was being resistant to me by myself here. You know what I mean? So, and I got that indication when the way he was acting towards me, and then when he put his hands in his pocket. I mean, and in my defense, I could tell that he didn't have nothing in his pocket, but I wasn't taking that chance.
You remember how often Officer Young insisted that Felton had a weapon and claimed he arrested him out of fear for his safety? Ironically, he was foolish enough to admit on camera that no weapon was found, unraveling his entire justification. But that wasn't his only slip-up. There were more careless admissions to come, each one further exposing the cracks in his fabricated story.
So, yeah. I don't think so. But registration, I couldn't see the registration because it's up underneath the lip on the gunnel. Pretty sure there'll probably be something else that comes out about this, but just him and complaining. Yeah, and my initial, and I'll put it in my report, I initially was just going to write him a warning. He was just going to get a warning for the registration. So, and then he started doing that, and when he started doing that, I was going to detain him until I got what I needed, because him being verbally argumentative with me. And then he pulled back. I told him he was going to be, that he was detained. I said, "That's not under arrest, you're detained."
All of this chaos stemmed from Officer Young's inability to see license plates facing the dock. It raised a serious question: is a cop this reckless too dangerous for the job? If he thinks he's above the law, how can anyone feel safe? At least his actions earned him a spotlight, a viral example of how police officers should never behave, a cautionary tale for all to see. Just when you think you've seen it all, the next video will prove there's always something more. It's hard to believe things can get any worse, but some officers manage to surprise us every time. Stick around, because there's always another moment that leaves us questioning how low it can go.